Hey everyone, Shane Combs, SVC Sports Zone. Appreciate you taking some time to check out our YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe so you're not missing any of our coverage. Some of our all access, our coaching interviews, our player interviews throughout the entire year. If you're like me, you're really anxious for some football Friday nights. We think we have a real treat for you today to whet that football appetite. We're down here at Piketon High School. Some of the new facilities they put in are just absolutely beautiful. And Coach Tyler Gallion of the Piketon football program has been nice enough to agree to take us around, and we're going to tour the facility, and then we're going to have a little sit down and talk a little football for the upcoming season. So on that note, get comfortable there and join us a little bit, and let's get started.
I'd like to welcome everyone here. We're going to have to take a little tour of our new facility here at Piketon. We're going to start here in the junior high locker room / visitor locker room. As you can see, this is where the visitors in junior high will dress and have their stuff, junior high football, and anyone else that needs to use it. We'll step outside here. So the visitors will just exit here and then go around to the field and ready to go. It's right behind the visitors' stands here. Of course, we have the field over here. It's a beautiful field, one of the best. Friday night, the scenery and everything is amazing. Great press box, plenty of bleachers. So it's been wonderful. Here, bathrooms for the visitors on a Friday night or any night for that matter. Then we have a concession stand, the Boosters concession stand, and it's for the visitors. Have some great stuff there on Friday night. Then girls' locker room, boys' locker room, an extra one right there. So soccer and track and whoever can use that. Then we're going to go in the inside here again.
Coach, I'm sure that was a big selling point too, the way he was able to highlight all the different programs throughout the entire athletic program.
Oh yeah, it's one of those things we've really worked together to get everyone getting time in, So yes, soccer, baseball, softball, girls and boys soccer, track. They've all used it, and everyone's got their space, and it's been wonderful.
That's outstanding.
So come through here. This is probably the thing I don't know. I don't know what I like the best, but this is right up there. This is amazing in here.
I can see why.
This is our indoor turf room, we call it, indoor facility. It's amazing. It's 100 feet by 100 feet, so 30 yards by 30 yards about. We can get a lot done in here in the summer. We've done a lot of work. When it's really hot, we'll stay in here. As a football team, we can get a lot done. We can still do your individual stuff and can throw a little bit, run our running plays, so get a lot done. But in the off season, it's been amazing, getting the sleds out, getting the tires out, getting the boxes out, and having room. Anything, you just need room, and this has provided that. But also, just not us, but like I said, softball and baseball were in here a ton this winter, and in the spring, they were in here. Track has used it. Soccer, there's soccer kids in here kicking soccer balls into the nets, and that's what it's for. That's what it's for kids to use it, for people to use it, and it has been amazing this so far for all we've had. We got storage, baseball storage and other storage down there, so we have some places to put stuff.
And Coach, I know that's overlooked a lot of times, where a lot of the average fan might just say, "Oh, a storage room." Where as a coach, those things are huge. Have you noticed that as much as anything, just in terms of the extra organization that it allows you as a coach to have in your program?
Yes, and it's not, hey, I have to run 200 yards to go get a piece of equipment. It's right there, it's out, and we're ready to go. But it's one of those things too, you don't want to take up too much room for storage, but yet you still want to have storage.
Sure.
And you don't want to take it away from this area. So they did a nice job kind of designing that, so where you still have this area here, and it's not toward one place, and the storage room was like out into the turf room, and we didn't like that. So we wanted to make sure this was all open, because you can't have too much space. So like I said, this place has been amazing. We've used it. Soccer teams used it. Baseball, softball. So it's been a multi-sport facility, and that's what we wanted when we started.
Well, and I know you're getting ready to take us there, but I couldn't help but notice the windows that open up to the weight room. So even from a practice organization, you still feel like your group's together. That's a neat design.
Yes, it is. It's one of those things, we wanted to have them right next to each other. We talked about putting the screen up, but I'm glad we put the wall with the windows, so you can see what's going on in there, but still do something in here. So we've had, all summer, we've had groups working out in there, then we'll take a group in here and do some agilities and some plyos and stuff like that. So hey, we just rotate, and we're all right here in this area, and you can still see what's going on, and it's been good. It's
Really
been good. Here. Again, we have a girls' locker room, another boys' locker room that can be used. Then it walks right in here to the weight room. The weight room is 100 feet by 30 feet, I do believe. That's kind of how we kind of wanted it long, so put all the racks on one side, and then have some more stations on the other, walkway down the middle. That's kind of how we designed it, had it in our head, and it's worked out. The stations have been amazing. We rotate kids around, we just don't have them staggered, but if you want to, hey, you're going to stay right there, do all your stuff, you can. But we've got some more squat racks, some deadlift stations as well. So it's nice. It's used a lot. Again, it's just not by us, just not by the football team. Heck, the cheerleaders were in here last night, and they've been working hard in here, and then they go right over there and do their practice stuff. So it's been used by a lot of people, and you get a lot of kids in here. I think we have about close to 50 on our football team. We start out in here. We had 48 in here last night, and it held it well. We couldn't do that in our other weight room. You get 30 kids in there. We were packed in there, and just couldn't get a lot done. But in here, I mean, we could have, in the spring, we had spring weightlifting, both track teams in here. That one evening, we figured out we had about 75 kids that came through here after school, and that's amazing. We probably had 50 in here at one time, and it held it. So always need a lot of space, always need a lot of equipment, but this place has been great.
Coach, I couldn't help but appreciate the attention to detail. I see the Piketon, I see the logos, I see the black and the red and the white and grays and all those different things. A lot of schools miss out on that. I assume that was pretty intentional. To me, personalizing it that way really adds something. Do you agree?
Oh yeah, you talk about branding and all that. It's kind of been a buzzword, but it's the truth. You know, have some pride in that, and have some pride. Hey, we are from Piketon. Have some pride about that. So when we designed it, when we came up, Elite Fitness did a lot of work with them, and we put it out. We designed it. It's turned out great. It turned out beautiful.
Beautiful place.
The bay doors have been wonderful. That's a little thing you don't think about, but
notice them in there too.
In there. So the big area is not air conditioned, which is fine. It's heated, but you open up the bay doors and get a breeze going, and it's plenty. It's plenty. It's nice, but that's great for equipment because we do have a powerlifting meet at the gym. So we take all these racks out and take them up to the gym to have our meet. So that door is amazing. We just wheel that stuff out and off we go and bring it back in here. So little thing like that's really been nice for us. We'll go back here in the hallway again. I didn't want a lot of foyer or hall space, you know what I mean? Didn't want a lot of wasted area, so it's kind of, hey, it's here. So hallway, girls' restroom is right here. Next we have the training room. This is our trainer, Amanda, loves this, lots of space. She didn't really have one at the other place. She has a little small area in the gym, but this place will be used and she loves it. It's very big and spacious. We'll go through here. This is the boys' restroom. This is the football team's restroom as well. Then it walks right into the locker room. This is the football team's locker room. Once again, in the spring, everyone uses it though, baseball, soccer.
Coach, I have to ask you here too. Again, I know people think, oh, just restroom facility. Well, it's amazing to me to think of some of the older facilities I've been in. You just mentioned 50 kids. All of a sudden, certain restrooms being maybe 4 and 5 times bigger than maybe you've had in older facilities.
Yes.
Just little details like that are important.
The showers, we didn't put a lot of showers in. Kids don't take showers nowadays, so I didn't want to waste a lot of, we didn't want to waste a lot of room with showers, so we put a couple showers in, but make sure we had enough restroom facilities, enough toilets for young men after school, but so that's the thing that we took into consideration. Mm-hmm. So we walk in here to the locker room. Again, we wanted to make sure it was open, lockers outside, so that way we can use it also as a film room. So we have the projector right in the middle with the pull-down screen. So this is where we'll watch films at. We come in, everyone's got a chair in their locker room, and then their locker, so we'll pull out the chair, sit it down there so we can watch film. So kind of dual purpose there, but I think we got 60 lockers in here. It's nice, big, spacious. Kids love it. And that way, we can have everyone gather around, everyone can see me. I know in a lot of locker rooms it's kind of chopped up with walls, so if you're talking up here, not everyone can see you from where they're at. So
if you threw 3 interceptions in the first half, maybe get the quarters.
They'll hide behind something. But in here, if I'm standing up here, I can see everyone, they can see me. That was kind of the idea of it. But it's nice. Of course, off of it, we have, again, you're talking about storage. Back there, we won't show it per se, but storage and laundry facilities back there. We do a lot of laundry around here. We keep the uniforms, so I think that's going to be huge and just easy for everyone. But equipment room right there, right off the locker room. Hey, I need a chin strap. Hey, it's right there. We can go get it, and we're ready to go. Then So then right off the locker room, we have our coach's office. Nice place to sit down and discuss some things, coaches, and it's right off the locker room, so we got great young men, but you still need to keep tabs on them, so they're right there. We can see them, talk to them if we need to, and things like that. But we're proud of this. The administration did a great job, and school board and everything. It kind of just snowballed once we started getting ideas, and then it came to this, and it's amazing. And we are definitely blessed, and we don't take it for granted, because I've been to a lot of colleges traveling this summer, and it rivals them. It rivals some of the small colleges that we went to, what we have here. And the kids have been, and it's like you said, you're not recruiting, but you are recruiting even your own kids. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you want kids to be, hey, you got something to be proud of. Yes, let's go and work out in there. Let's go out and play this. So you're always trying to get kids out, and it's been, there are times you have to, I don't want to say beg kids, but hey, motivate kids. Hey, let's get to the weight room. Let's get and do this. But haven't had to do that a lot this year. Hey, this is the nice place, and kids want to come and work out, and something they can be proud of. And
I think there's a lot of truth to that in coaching, absolutely.
Old coach used to say, if you treat something like a redheaded stepchild, it's going to act like a redheaded stepchild. And that if you do things the right way, people will have some pride in it. So we've done that. Now like we said, like I told the boys, don't take it for granted, fellas. Not everyone has this, so take it for granted. Work hard, use it.
Coach, real quick up here, just because I know a little bit of the past, so I'd love for you to share the leadership award here with us, the meaning of that, and kind of what that's meant to your program.
When I came here, I mean, it's going on my 18th year, I do believe, and I'm big on leadership. We need young men to be leaders. We need them to turn into good fathers and good leaders. So early on, we were talking about leadership. So we started the Terry Jordan Leadership Award. We give out every year. Terry Jordan, I played with him in high school. Great young man, great leader. He ended up dying of cancer a couple years after he graduated. So in his honor, I started that, we started that, and every year we pass that out. And there's some great young men right there that's on that plaque. I made the one plaque, and I thought, man, that's 12 years, I think it is. And I was like, that'll be plenty. Well, I've been here more than that, and we had to get another plaque. It's got some great names up there, but that's just something we take pride in. We talk about a lot, leadership and what is leadership and how to do it, and have some classes on it. But that's just something little we've come up with. And then of course I like this. We need to put some more numbers up there though, but that's a nice thing we've got. And you guys want to come on in here? Or
Yeah, I appreciate everything with the facility. I had some football questions for you, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
We'll steal a little bit more of your time. I know this is just a nice little area. Here, we'll just, I guess where I would start, Coach, you and I go way back, so I've known you a long, long time, and I know your passion for Piketon. So, as a player, as a coach, as a father, just as a Piketon Red Streak, talk to me first about what this means, all this that you've just walked around and you've explained to us. What's that truly mean to you in this community?
That's a good question, in that, because I was raised here and I graduated from here, so it shows the pride that they have in the school, the pride they have in their facilities. It feels good. A few years back, I would have never dreamed we'd have had this. A few years back, it was a rough year. We were playing in that old stadium up there. That'll be precious to us, because man, there's a lot of good games played up there, a lot of good teams played up there, and I wouldn't trade that for the world. But as we looked around and as we were talking, we had some of the worst facilities around, just to be honest. If you think, the Paint Valleys and the Westfalls were improving, Huntington's was improving, and they were putting some money and some stuff in it. And we looked around, and I was like, guys, we got some of the worst around now. And you look at Valley and Jackson and Oak Hill and Waverly, and you just SVC even, Uniotas, that they were putting money and nice facilities in it. And that last year, we barely had a blade of grass on the field, and we did some work and it wasn't working. It's like, what do we do? Do we put some more money in it? Do we start afresh and do something completely different? Those were the things that they were talking about, and so we decided, hey, if we're going to put some money in it, let's do something nice. And that's kind of where it started. And that, like you said, and everyone can use it, and it's just not about football. And we had the soccer was playing down here, and it was a great venue, great facility. So we said, hey, let's upgrade it in every way. And it started with the turf and the new track. I didn't mention that. That's a brand new track out there too. And then it just kind of snowballed from there. So we did the turf, and then this came along. But yeah, it's a lot of makes me feel good, a lot of pride in our community, and to take care of our kids.
No question. Yeah, my brother and I have been doing a podcast called Expanding the Zone. We're in season 2 now, and on our recent show, you can watch it right there on the YouTube channel actually that we're doing this on. We talked about forming an identity and the importance of leadership. And as I walk through your locker room, I see a lot of key words, a lot of key phrasing, and you talked a little bit about that. But then there's another part of culture that comes in the identity of the scheme. And certain programs are kind of known for certain things. And you know, when I think of your program, I always think, you know, on the offensive side of the ball, as a fan, it's fun to watch. I assume it's fun to coach. I assume it's fun to play in. What without giving all your secrets away, what is it on the offensive side of the ball that you think has allowed you to have the success you've had, and some of the creativity and some of the different athletes that you've been able to scheme into space and matchups? I know you and I have talked about it over the years, and I always hear you talk space. I always hear you talk matchups and different things like that. Just talk to us a little bit about that identity that's kind of been, you know, something that's been pretty successful for you here throughout.
Some kids to do it, but it's one of those, probably started when I started coaching, and also probably being a quarterback myself growing up, so that kind of had something to do with it. But you know, I played for my dad, and you know, he was great with the run game and everything. He was more smash mouth. Then I went up and coached with Ed Bolin for 3 years. I probably started out with him, and some of those things that he was talking about and we were doing, it kind of was like, oh my goodness, this is good stuff, you know, and how he, on the offensive side of the ball, and I guess it would start with that, and kind of some of his ideas, and different way, it's funny, the different way to look at things.
Right.
So, and that, I mean, that's been 20 years ago, and I guess that's where it started, and then you just start. When I first came here, we kind of went back to the eye under center, but it was one of those things I always wanted to do, and eventually, a few years later, we said, hey, let's go spread, let's go shotgun, let's kind of play basketball on grass, kind of get some, because we always say, you know, we got some good, you got to have some good linemen. You talk about line, well, we had some good linemen, but you put a lot of your stock into a guard to make the play, you know what I mean, if that makes sense. Now it's kind of more on the quarterback. Hey, it's on the quarterback. You got to make these plays, these decisions, and we've always had a couple good athletes that try to get the ball to, so that's kind of where we built that off of. And it's kind of morphed into what it is now, and it's always changing a little bit. We're always critiquing a little bit, but I like to play fast. I like to throw it around, and that's kind of the history of it and where it's progressed from.
You know, I've talked to a lot of good football people the last couple weeks, and we got talking defense, and we talked, you know, different schemes, and they've even tried to educate me on the different, you know, a lot of these spread offenses, the offensive linemen maybe doing it more with finesse and angles, and where that doesn't always match up on the defensive physicality and so forth. And they talked about rules, and I guess it's a two-part question for you. One, just football in general, and then two, kind of tying it into your Piketon team. You know, one, what is it that you think makes defense so much harder to play, if you even feel that way, than it was 5-10 years ago, 15 years ago? And then where is your confidence level in your guys' ability on the defensive side to take that next step forward and maybe get over the hump in a couple of these games you were just right there last year?
The rules changes as far as the contact and how to tackle and stuff. That makes it harder, and practicing per se, because you're allowed so much contact a week now. I think that makes it, the more you practice at something, the better you are, and and rightfully so, you got to protect the kids. So you can't practice that as much, that full contact as much. Whereas, you know, it's harder to play defense in these spread offenses. It's like when we were under center, running our eye back in the day, you might see a 5-2, a 5-3, a 6-2, a 4-4, and you might see them all in the same game, you know? So you have to prepare for all those different looks. You go to a spread, there's only so many fronts that a defense can show at us. I mean, they're going to send some people, but to be honest, it's going to come down to a 4-man front or a 3-man front.
Mm-hmm.
And so in that way, it's kind of simplified things. You look at, people might look at our offense and say, man, that's complex. No, not really. It's pretty simple, really.
Right.
We and it's what we put in the first day, and you know, what do you put in the first play? Do you put in a run game? Do you put in a pass game? So it's what we put in the first time. So talk about harder defensively. I mean, and so with us, it's simplified things offensively. Hey, you don't see that much front, but it's harder defensively. You want to look complex, but not get too complicated. You understand that? In that,
yes.
with your kids, you want to keep it simple, but if you keep it too simple, it makes it easier for that team too. So that's that fine line of trying to. You want to be fundamentally sound, but you want to give them some different looks as well.
Excellent. Wade, last question. I guess, man, you've been here a long time. You've accomplished so much, and again, you got to be so proud of all this. You know, what's next for Piketon football? Take me into this year. Obviously, some expectations. I know you have some kids coming back. Just kind of as you look into this year and the years to come, what is it that? I mean, I know winning might be a simple answer, or whatever, but beyond that, what's next for Piketon football? What is it that you're hoping to accomplish moving forward to build off of all this and so forth?
I want something the community to be proud of. I do. You think about mission statements and the culture, and those are buzzwords and stuff. But you know, starting out, it was all about winning. It was, and it's still about winning. But you know, you want to affect kids' lives.
Yeah.
You know, you want them to make them good adults. You know, teach kids to be winners on and off the field.
Yeah.
That's kind of our mission statement around here. So going forward, you know, I want it to be a positive atmosphere that they can look back and say, man, I enjoyed my time there. And we won a few games. You know, we won some games. But we got a ton of seniors this year, a big class, 15, 16 seniors, which is big for us. And of course, with Levi, my son, being a senior, I feel like all the kids are all my players, all my kids, but this group's a little special, and because they've been around the house a lot. We've played wiffle ball out back a lot. We've, you know, they've been over the house. They've eaten all my food, you know, but that's good. That's the way it's supposed to be. So this class is pretty special. You know, we've coached them, and I've coached them in Little League baseball and you know, little or bitty basketball. So I know them a little better than most. So I'm excited about the year and enjoying it. And hey, it's all nice and fancy and all this is amazing, but it comes down, you got to work. Nothing's going to be handed to you. You got to work hard. You got to put in the sweat to get the job done.
Well, Coach, I'll tell you what, from playing against you to us growing up in the SVC and coaching, I always had a high level of respect for you. I love what you do, and I'm a big fan of yours. I appreciate you letting us come down and do this today.
Hey, I love it. Thank you for the attention. Thank you for, I'm going to say, showing this place off, because it is amazing. It is wonderful, and it's something our community and our kids can be proud of, and I appreciate all you do for us. All you do for the area. It's awesome, and I know we watch it, our kids watch it, and appreciate what you do.
Appreciate that. Thank you.